Hey guys, welcome to a Source Gaming discussion. I'm your host, Tris, and today I'm joined by TheAnvil
Hey guys.
to discuss the presence of Super Mario Odyssey in this recent Nintendo Direct. So, way back, well, I say way back, but it was like a couple days before, when this Nintendo Direct was announced, they already said that Super Mario Odyssey would have a major presence in it. And it had like the spotlight at the very end of it. So what were your overall like thoughts on it? Like, what stood out to you about it?
Well, I think the first thing was the visual improvements were huge. I didn't think I really grasped how different everything was until I saw the comparison pictures on Twitter.
Yeah, it's crazy actually. Like, especially, I'm really glad they showed that shot of Peach again, where she's calling out for Mario like she does in almost every game. It was really great actually to see that and then compare it to the original look. It just looks so much better.
I just think it shows how much passion the team has for the game. It's incredible, really.
It really is incredible, and I think it also shows just how much more work has been put into the game since E3, because so many people were saying like, oh, the game looks done and there's not much else they need to do. It should release earlier than October. But I think this kind of proves that they're still putting a lot of work into it.
Well, I think we've probably come to a point where the game development was quite early on when we sought to start with, and obviously it's come a long way, and it looks just stunning now. I
don't know, like with a lot of games, it definitely seems like the way Nintendo handles them, especially with Odyssey, it seems like they get the main game and the core features of it and even the extras of it working fairly early in comparison to its release, and then it's just nothing but polishing from there.
Well, Nintendo are just incredible at polishing their games. They always have been.
Yeah, really. I think we both picked the same particular thing that stood out to us then, which really was just the visual improvements from even just the last time we saw the game.
Absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts on one of the other the big things we saw, which is the photo mode, which from what we saw, it's kind of similar to, I guess, like in Smash, where you can pause it and you can move the camera around and zoom in, except now you can add filters.
Well, there's no question we're going to see some lewd things posted on the internet with the blur function. And the shirtless Mario, well, it's going to be everywhere. It's not really a mode that interests me personally. I just like to get on with the game itself.
Yeah, that's fair. I think like the Switch, for example, having the photo button in general, I really like, and I always like taking pictures in Smash Bros and stuff, like to use for like phone backgrounds, or as I said during the direct, like phone backgrounds or wallpapers, but also like profile pictures and things like that. So having that option to pause Mario and zoom in on his super details is actually pretty interesting.
Well, I can't wait to see all the nipple close-ups. That's going to be great.
You know there's going to be at least one of them. There's going to be at least one person to do that.
I would imagine it would be the first thing a lot of people do, to be honest.
Oh boy. Yeah, that'll be pretty funny. So actually, good segue, because the that costume comes with the what is it, like the swim trunk outfit, right? Even though it's an outfit, but it's really just swim trunks. Of all the ones that we've seen so far, and I know you said you weren't seeing like absolutely everything, but of the ones that you've seen and the ones shown today, what would you say is your favorite outfit or hat or costume in general?
Well, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to say two, because there's one that I'm really surprised about being included. I'm really pleased with it. It's the inverted, the red overalls with the blue shirt. It's a very classic
like the
Mario.
Yeah,
I love the way that's in. It's just brilliant. The other one I have to say would be the caveman one. It's like kind of like the old caveman platformers like Joe and Mac or Tombi. It reminds me of that, and it's great. How about you?
It's interesting because like originally back like E3, I was like, whoa, the Mario Maker costume, that's super cool. And now I'm like, whoa, the Dr. Mario costume, that's super cool. But it's like, I only really like them more as references. I don't know how much I'm going to be actually using them. So I feel like if I actually had to pick a favorite, first of all, in concept, I really want to know what Mario looks like with Peach's wedding dress, since we can apparently get that with the amiibo. I want to know how funny that looks.
Yeah,
That's just in concept though right now because we haven't actually seen it. But I still really like the silly look of where he's wearing like the flippers and he has like the inner tube on and like he has the scuba mask. I just find that entire outfit to just look so silly. But it's really great to just keep seeing new ones, and I hope there's a lot that we still haven't seen. So, how many kingdoms do you think are left? Because we got some new ones revealed in this direct. We got several new ones shown. But before really diving into thoughts on those, how many do you think are left?
I reckon we're going to see maybe 12 to 15 in total.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Maybe a few more as DLC later on down the road, but I mean we're nearly at the game's release now, and we've seen a few, and I don't think there's going to be that many left to reveal.
Yeah. Well, there's hints of the Mushroom Kingdom being like an actual kingdom in the game, which I'd be very interested in seeing how they do and what areas from it they pull into it, but I have no idea.
No, it's kind of hard to say, but I mean, however many they do, I'm going to love them all. So.
Oh, exactly. I do wonder if there's like an order to go through them in, or if it's going to be like after you complete a certain amount, you can go to any of them. Because I presume the difficulty would scale, but I don't know.
I think as long as you reach the goal and however many power moons you get, you can go on to the next one if you want, or you can stay in the world and get as many as you can in that world before moving on.
Yeah, that seems to be how they're presenting it. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get to the new kingdoms that we've seen. So there was the Snow Kingdom. We got an official name for the Cap Kingdom, or at least the area in the Cap Kingdom, and there was the Beach Kingdom, I think it's called.
I think they called it Bubblaine.
Yes, Bubblaine. And then it wasn't named, but there was that kind of jungly tropical island looking one where we saw that
the flying dinosaur.
Yeah, like the flying dinosaur thing, which is adorable, by the way. But
that's going to be amazing. that's like the game highlight right there.
So, what are your thoughts on these?
Well, we didn't really see too much of the Snow World. We only saw it a little bit when they sort of named it, and then a little bit more when they showed the Eskimo kind of costume a bit later on. So it's hard to comment on that yet.
Yeah, it's tricky because, well, first of all, it definitely looks different from the average snow level in Mario. Mostly because of the low visibility we saw when we first got it, but most snow levels in Mario, I noticed, they don't really look, I guess the word is barren. I guess the best word choice for it would be barren. It looked really, threatening, so to say, with how low visibility there was. It looked like the way Mario was jumping on the different sections of ice. I wonder if he would get hurt if he landed in the actual really cold water. I think that happened in Mario 64. So I wonder if that would hurt.
I think you could be right there, to be honest, but obviously it's pretty hard to say at the moment. We did see a clip of Mario sort of shivering, so maybe that will play into it.
I do wonder if, in terms of if there is a sort of progression of when you go to levels. I feel that might be later on, simply due to the fact that it's probably more difficult, or at least from what we saw, it doesn't look like its geography makes it super easy to traverse.
No, I think you're right.
Moving on from the Snow Kingdom, then we have I keep forgetting the name. The Beach Kingdom.
You mean Bubblaine, right?
Yeah, Bubblaine. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of that. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on this one? Because we saw a little bit of it earlier on, but this is the first time we've really been properly introduced to it.
Yeah, we saw a pretty decent amount of it. Obviously, you can swim about. It looks really good. It's hard to say anything bad about this game at the moment because it just all looks so brilliant.
Yeah. What's interesting to me in this tropical area, honestly, this island, this undersea area, it's I love the reference to Mario Sunshine with the like. There was that item that we saw which makes Mario run really fast and able to run on the water, which works a lot like the flood nozzle from Mario Sunshine, or the peppers that Yoshi can have in Super Mario Galaxy 2. And I think it's really interesting that we're getting that again, but differently. But I don't know, it's a concept I always thought was really interesting to have in the Mario games that I think it's fun to see it returning again.
I think you bring up a good point there, actually, because there's so many classic elements and nods to all these older games. It feels like it's an anniversary game.
It really does, actually.
You could imagine like 35th anniversary of Mario printed on the box because it's so ingrained in everything, in every corner of the game.
Actually, I'm a little upset because we saw like this tropical looking outfit from Mario where he's in like the not quite the Hawaiian shirts, but like he looks like he's on like vacation basically. And yeah. I've seen some people upset that it's not the exact one that he wears in Mario Sunshine, which admittedly I'm a little upset by that too.
I don't think it's really anything to criticize as such, but it would have just been nice if they had included that. It would have been another nod.
Like with all these great references they're doing, it's upsetting that wasn't one of them.
It's like it slipped their mind.
Which is weird to say when you have like Mario Paint references and Mario Maker references and the Explorer Mario. Like it's just interesting.
Yeah, I suppose.
Working back to the kingdoms a bit, I think it's neat that we got to see a little more of the Cap Kingdom. Though I do feel like it's still the one that we've seen the least of, and it makes me wonder if it's not really much to it. Like I almost feel like it's like the starting area, and maybe there isn't too much that's actually there, because I presume Mario would have to start there to meet Cappy and get story.
It does look like kind of the environment that Cappy could come from. To meet Mario initially. You kind of get like Nightmare Before Christmas vibes from that, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, I could totally see that. It's interesting. But I also feel like, not that there isn't much to do there, because I just feel like that's just them not showing us, but I do feel like I feel like it might have the least amount of power moves there. Because I think that might be based on,
it could be level 1
caps.
or level 2.
I feel like, yeah. Like, I feel like that might be where you get Cappy, you get the Odyssey, and you sail off from there. Maybe you go back to it at some point for things, but I don't really see the Cap Kingdom playing as big of a role as, say, New Donk City or any of the other, like, kingdoms with at least 50 moons in them.
No, you probably start off there and then end up in New Donk City, and then from there you get the Odyssey and travel between the worlds.
Yeah. We've hit upon a lot of the overall topics that have come about from this, but I guess the main thing is, are there any real final thoughts for this? Like, is there main things still stuck on our mind that we need to know or want to know before the game releases?
I mean, I suppose my final thoughts would be, I want to know if there are any Kongs in New Donk City.
I really do too, actually. Like,
you got the references, but I want to see if they're there.
I feel like Donkey Kong has to be somewhere in this game.
Yeah, I want to see Stan as well. It seems like they brought Pauline back. They could bring Stan back, and the Bug Man. They could give him some role.
Yeah. I mean, they keep making Pauline look amazing in this, honestly. Like, even this newer trailer showed her off even more, and they gave her like her own render and everything. Like, well, they're doing a fantastic job with promoting her in this. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably really likely to pop up in Mario Kart and that sort of thing now.
Oh, I really hope so.
It'd be nice to have some more female characters that aren't babies.
Yeah, really. She has a lot of shininess to her dress and everything. She could be the new shiny character instead of Pink Gold Peach.
I don't think people would take too kindly to Pink Gold Peach being cut now. She's too much of a troll character.
I don't know. But final thoughts from me, I guess, is if each, or at least from what we saw in the trailer in the direct, at the very least, New Donk City has over 50 moons in it. I wonder how many others do, and is it going to be scaled properly where like they all have a equal or at least similar number of total number of moons to find, or are you going to find like really small kingdoms with maybe like 10? And I guess that's one thing that I'm really iffy on, because some of these kingdoms feel a lot smaller than others, to be honest.
I don't really want them to saturate the game with moons and make, just give you an unreasonable number to collect.
Yeah.
I would rather they did scale it, so if the world is smaller, we get a fewer amount of moons to collect.
Like, I'm actually, I'm a little put off by the idea of like 50 moons in each, or 50 plus moons in each kingdom, just because I feel like it'll make a lot more people want to just go for the bare minimum. So I think they would have to have some sort of real good incentive to getting all of them. I don't know, maybe the Odyssey gets super powerful and you can go to like a special area at the end, like the final level kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe they can have Luigi playable and have him collect moons or something, I don't know.
Oh, that'd be nice. I hope so. I'm surprised we haven't seen Luigi at all yet, but we're getting so much of Pauline. Not that that's a bad thing, but like it's surprising not to see Luigi.
It's going to be DLC, probably.
Alright, well, I think that about wraps us up, since those were pretty much our final thoughts. So, why don't you tell people where they can find you at TheAnvil?
They can find me on Twitter at MLFoxwell.
Okay. And you can find me, Tris, as TSFeeling25 on Twitter, or over on my own Let's Playing channel, Wiki. So, anyway though, thank you guys for watching. So make sure you follow both of us on Twitter, and also Source Gaming as a whole, which is in the description below. And subscribe to Source Gaming for more content like this, as well as news updates, reviews, and honestly so much more.